So what have I learned after a month of being a freelancer? Endeavoring into the world of freelancing can be and is daunting, especially for someone like me.
With ADHD, trying to remember to get anything done, well... Oh, I gotta go to the store. My keys. Wallet.
There's no traffic in the air, but I can't afford
Your partner.
Look at this. Snoop Dogg wine.
Dude, don't buy it just because Snoop Dogg's face is on it.
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna buy it.
It's the one and only Digo Double G. Snoop Dogg.
That's so stupid. What's this video about again?
So since I can't obviously trust my brain, I have to trust some like organizational softwares. I use things like Apple Reminders, Google Calendar, and Notion. Notion's one of my favorites. So here's my method on how I use all three of them to become the alternative brain for me. First, you got your emails and DMs. Those turn into, hey, let's get a coffee. Those turn into meetings. During those meetings, I always make sure I have a notebook so that I can remember what the heck we talked about, because my brain won't remember. Writing analog notes really helps me kind of try to remember a little bit better, at least try to remember what was going through my head at that moment. And then I'll transfer those into Notion. So I'll actually be able to see them on my laptop, on my phone, on my iPad. If there's a need to go film something or make sure there's an edit deadline, especially the deadlines, I will put those in Google Calendar. And I'll back those up with an Apple Reminder. And then I'll have the actual like scheduling in Notion. And Notion's a little bit more versatile than a Google Calendar because I can easily see all my projects, be able to click into it and have all the notes, and then go from a to-do to doing and then done categorization. But I have all the information I need as far as like what I need to film, what's the deadline, what edits I need to do next, all in one place, and it's just visually appealing and it just helps my brain process things so much easier. Reminders play a huge part in me remembering what I need to do that day. Reminders, a little bit more than Google Calendar, it's more of a helpful tool to kind of just pop up an alert or a notification like, hey, you got this thing. I know Google Calendar can kind of do that, but it's something about Apple Reminders that just hit different. And then when I'm done with everything, I go in reverse order. Click on Apple Reminders, it'll just disappear because it's done. I'll take it off Google Calendar. And the nice thing about Notion is once I click done and move it to the done category, it'll automatically disappear because I have it categorized to only show me the to-dos and what I'm doing currently. And let me tell you, there's nothing more satisfying than ticking off a checkbox or to-do thing and then it's just gone, it's into the ether. I don't have to worry about it anymore. It makes my brain so happy. So this has worked for a month now. As anything, starting something can always be the easiest part, but after 6 months, I think that's where the real test of my structure is gonna come into play. We're gonna have to see. Outside of work, quite the opposite is vital. Doing nothing.
And only read a broken phone.
As someone once said, sometimes you have to get bored to make stuff.
You're never gonna be enough. Stop trying to be Casey.
You'll never make it.
You're not an artist.
You
Suck.
even keep trying.
No one is ever gonna notice you.
Yeah, I know that was a bit dramatic of a telling of what it's like, but to be fair, that's kind of what it's like dealing with ADHD. Is like I have so many voices going on in my head that I just don't have control over it. Recently going through therapy, I'm finding out that the most times that I have anxiety is like mid-afternoon, right before bed. It's just all these thoughts of past, present, future are just like jam-packed going on a loop in my head. And it's a lot to deal with. Because of being undiagnosed for so many years, I've naturally learned how to mask, and that masking has turned into anxiety, and that anxiety masks away symptoms of having ADHD. It's just a cluster ball of bad. But that is a goal of mine this year in 2023. I mean, I know it's almost over, but I really want to fix what's going on in my head because I want to do better at work, family life. I want to do better as like myself as a person. But now that I'm going through life, understanding the fact that I have ADHD and how to work with it instead of trying to like have anxiety and just freak out and just try to brute force my way through everything. I'm trying to take a step back and figure out how to actually live with it. So far, I think I'm kind of getting work figured out. All right, fine. Good morning, Chicago.
After waking up, I'd take a walk to allow my brain to freshen up before downing coffee and getting into work mode. In this time, I'll listen to a podcast, some music, and just take in the city air. I can write freely about an idea for a video with no pressure. And maybe write a note of inspiration or just journal. Something about analog pen to paper just hits differently. Journaling has been huge. As someone who has a hard time expressing to someone my feelings and emotions, being able to write slows down my ADHD brain enough to really process how I feel with each word at a time. It's my version of self-therapy. Well,
We all need therapy.
the best part of being a freelancer is I spend more time at home or at a coffee shop. And sometimes I get to spend that time with my wife. We both work from home, so definitely taking advantage of this. I feel I'm able to have my life back. I can enjoy hobbies I've put on pause.
Dang it.
I cannot tell you enough how much of an honor it has been to work with so many artists and different kinds of artists in the city, and what kind of opportunities they've led to. It is so nice to finally get to really know myself, because I know that with my favorite art medium, filmmaking, I'll really be able to progress and grow not only what I create, but how I create. Truly, I thank you guys for all the support. It really means a lot to me. And I hope you stay, because this is just the start of the journey.
I just have got to, can't write it down. Don't really know how, I've got to figure